Crazy day at camp today for the Bengals. We'll talk about that. Plus, Corey Dillon will join us for the Wincinnati podcast.
This video is brought to you by BETUS Sportsbook and Casino.
It's an exciting time to be a Bengals fan.
Welcome to season 3 of the Wincinnati podcast, powered by BetUS. Shout out to our new sponsor on the show. We appreciate them rocking with us. Zim, crazy day at camp today, bro. I know we'll get into it. What are your thoughts and what have you been into since Bengals training camp and everything's been going on this past week?
Man, I feel like today was the most intense day. It was so crazy because it kind of reminded me of, ironically, last year when Burrow got hurt. You know, it was a very intense day there too. I guess we're going to get into the battles and different things coming up. But I mean, so many highlights from today. I'm excited. I texted you earlier. I was working out with Ooze, so we was getting it in. I've been outside sweating, everything like that. So this is the wind down area. But I ain't gonna lie to you. It's season 3 Wincinnati. We back. We better than ever, and we got a lot of ball to talk about.
Yes, sir. We're going to get into a couple of things today. Obviously, the big story are the training camp injuries. So we're going to get you guys all of the information that we have based off of that. NFL Top 100 was a little bit interesting this year with Tua being ranked higher than Burrow. So we're going to give you guys our thoughts on it. We're also going to be joined today by our surprise guest, Corey Dillon. He's going to come on to talk Ring of Honor and things like that. Then we're going to get into who our camp MVPs are and our battles from that standpoint. So make sure that you guys get ready for a dope show. And first off, we're going to talk about some of these injuries coming up. All right, Zim. As it stands right now, man, Amarius Mims carted off, possibly due to the heat. They put ice packs on him. He seems like he's going to be okay, but he exited today. Jermaine Burton also exited today. He had a little bit of an issue with his ankle today. Sam Hubbard and Hendrickson have been day-to-day with minor injuries. And then Cam Sample, which seems like possibly the worst one, goes down with the lower leg injury. Bro, what happened today, man? It was crazy. I was getting notification after notification. You were sending it. We saw it in the Wincinnati group chat. It was crazy today. What are your thoughts about the injuries that happened today?
I think today was just, like one of those days where the heat, I think I've seen a couple of people show 96, 98 degrees. So you had the extreme temperatures. The humidity was out there. It was brutal. I know Max, our boy, friend of the show, was telling us, I heard him say, man, like he had a towel out early or whatever because it was just that humid. Also, Cole Burgess was another guy that left, and they're pretty thin at wide receiver a little bit when you think about the Jamar Chase, Holden, and all these different things. You also had updates on Amarius Mims, though, where he was in the locker room and said that he'll be back as early as tomorrow. I don't know if Zach will let him do that, but he said he seemed like he was 100% fine. Burton, we got the updates from Schultz. Shout out to him. He sent me a couple notes or whatever as well, too. His people said that was just a tweak. If you go to Instagram, Burton is even posting to his page and stuff like that. Generally, if people get hurt or players get hurt, I mean, they're not posting to their Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. Cam Sample did get 2 people that had eyes on him, saw him in a boot on one of those little scooter things. On the actual injury itself, it looked like they were working kind of on his calf areas, Achilles region, wasn't able to put weight on it. Could be precautionary. I have read different notes and different things that say sometimes calf, cramps get really, really tight to the point where you can't do anything with it. So hopefully it's just that. But he was in a little boot thingy, scooter thingy going around the locker room. A couple people said they saw him like that afterwards. So we're waiting for the update on that. But everybody else seems like they're pretty good dealing with cramps in the weather.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was just a heat thing with Amarius, like you said. It was obviously pretty hot out there. It's crazy because it finally rained, I guess, after the camp, but a lot of people were having issues with the heat. Obviously, with him being big, that probably was precautionary. Same thing, like you said, with Burton. That was a sigh of relief for me, bro, because I'm like, Burton, like, nah, like that. But I mean, prayers up to Cam Sample. That's the one that I think, like you said, we really need to watch for. And obviously, he's an important part of what they do on the interior. So prayers up to him. Hopefully, we're holding our breath and hoping that everything is good. But next up,
the Burton one too. Just because they're saying that he tweaked the ankle, we've seen that one before where it could be, I've seen people have bone spurs or anything. So, keep your eye on that. In the midst of it, though, Yoshi has really stepped it up. I think it also, can I say too, I just posted to Twitter too, Burton had some real good reps today. Had a big catch I saw even yesterday. We just showed that on the highlight. He had a couple different big catches, got caught somebody on a double move. He's been having an excellent camp. But Fig had a route or whatever that he locked him up on earlier today too as well before the ankle injury.
So let's talk about the training camp battles. Obviously, Joe Burrow came out today and said that Yoshi is going to have a big season. We were kind of talking about the Yoshi versus Burton kind of deal. It seems like Yoshi might be not only winning that battle, but possibly one of the camp MVPs. I mean, every highlight each day is showing Yoshi making the play. I'm glad that we had him on the show. He also earlier got like every snap that he took earlier a few days ago was from the slot. So that was something that was major because, he said on our show he didn't play much in the slot last year. Obviously now that's changed, and it seems like they're depending on him to do a lot of stuff when it comes from that perspective. Other guys you talked about, Fig, some people have talked about Amarius Mims, that he's more than just a big guy, hasn't made, the same mistake twice. Who are some other guys that you feel like have kind of won their battles and are kind of standing out as some of the best players at a training camp?
I don't know if this. If people follow me on Twitter, this is maybe I don't give people too many hot takes, but can I say like one hot take?
Go ahead.
Joe Burrow. Like, how's that for hot? You know what I mean? Like, this guy has come out there, surpassed everything that I think most people had thought from the outside. I guess, on the inside, we kind of knew the updates sort of, but Burrow, I mean, when the passes even today, the ball is getting out and they're dead accurate. The touchdown he threw to T. Higgins at the very beginning of 11 on 11s. I mean, it's almost like it's been like that this whole entire time. My MVPs, I don't know if this is a shocker for anybody, is Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. I know that everybody, like people want to talk about the sleepers, but T. Higgins from the day one in training camp, even like when he first signed the tag, came out there and has been leading them in all the drills, been doing everything on point, like been kind of the measuring stick to show everybody what's going on. Now, all the other guys like Yoshi, Charlie Jones, even Zach Taylor talked about him today, putting on extra pounds, him feeling a lot better. And I'm gonna tell you, Charlie Jones has had a big catch every single day at camp. So all this wide receiver battle is crazy. I'm gonna even say Hakeem Butler in the limited time that he's been out there has had a couple of different times that he's flashed. I think Gesicki has flashed a lot. On the defensive line, I will say this too. Early on, it was Sheldon Rankins. If you look at even a touchdown today to Yoshi, BJ Hill has had some really good rushes. So I've been looking at him. Hopefully, like maybe the new scheme is maybe geared a little bit more towards him. But I think that BJ Hill has been a guy that showed up a bunch. I'm going to also go with Fig on the defensive end too. I haven't seen that many of him getting cooked. Most of our concerns from Bengals fans have been Dax Hill and DJ Turner. I keep on saying that. Dejan Anthony or whatever, he had his the first interception on Joe Burrow today too. In the whole entire camp, he got that. He got the honors on that one too. So there's a bunch of guys that's stepping up. Yeah, but those are my main guys. I know that that's not a crazy take, but Joe Burrow has been outstanding this whole time. He's ran 2 or 3 times where I thought he looked fast as hell. I'm not about to say he looked faster than he's ever looked. I'm not that guy, but he looked very fast and he looked good and he looked confident. He didn't hesitate. When he's throwing the ball, I want people to really know, like, when you're assessing talent, you're always looking for like young quarterbacks. Like early on, they'll say, yeah, the ball's like leaving his hand, like where it's like this effortless motion or whatever. And sometimes even last year, I noticed that Burrow like had a ball and it lacked a little bit of velocity. The ball been accurate. The ball's been on point. Ball's just jumping out of his hand. And ball is, yeah, the football's been jumping right out of his hand like every single throw. And I just don't feel like people are talking about that enough. And I feel like he's exceeded all expectations.
No, for sure, for sure. So we want to take 1 second to shout out to our sponsor who's helping us keep the lights on. Shout out to BETUS. They have all the odds you need for the upcoming NFL season. You get a 125% sign-up bonus for up to $2,000. You also get fast and easy deposit and withdrawal processes. You also get live wagering on all major games. And you can do dope bets like this that we have right now. If you feel like the Bengals are going to be the winners of the AFC North, that's plus 160 right now. Put some money down on it because I feel really good about the Bengals right now. I think I've even seen some places where they are favored in Vegas by 14 games. In 14 games, they're favored. So that's pretty good odds for the Bengals. So shout out to BETUS. And we got another message from our sponsor coming up.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
And who's the #1 player on the top 5 this year?
On the what? I'm not saying him. I give credit when it's due, but I'm not saying his name.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. I'm not saying his name, brother. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow.
All right, speaking of the NFL top 100, that was Jamar Chase holding it down, standing on business. But that was the NFL top 100. Something interesting happened this week on the NFL top 100, and it seems as if Tua Tagovailoa is being viewed by NFL players as being better than Joseph Burrow. When this came out, Joe Burrow, first, Trey Hendrickson was number 77. Jamar Chase was number 45. They had Joe Burrow at 39. They had Tua Tagovailoa at 36. Immediately when this came out, people on Twitter were like, what in the world is going on right now? Zim, let me know your thought process. Let's step into the mind of Zim. Zim, what were you thinking when this happened, bro?
I didn't think too much of it in the sense of, I know that the list is like screwed up because they put a lot of weight on injuries, and I just can't. To me, I can't see an NFL player, even with that said. Like I'll see a lot of ops say, "Oh well, I mean he was injured. Y'all act like da da da," and in my mind, I'd be thinking to myself like that could be true, but you think an NFL player is really filling out a list and saying, even with an injury, like, I think Tua is better than Burrow? That's the part that, like, just doesn't, jive with me well. Like, I want to name a couple people. Brock Purdy at 28, above Burrow as well. Khalil Mack at this age in his career at 29. You had Mike Evans, who I really like. You got, there's some guys, I don't have no problem with Penei Sewell, 22, AJ Brown, 21. But these are all guys that we know that aren't better than Burrow. But I guess the big one was Tua. But I guess it's on the strength of they're just saying injuries. And if it's going to be on injuries,
Jordan Love, bro. Jordan Love. Where
was Jordan Love at?
He was ahead of Burrow. So Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud, Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I feel like the whole list is screwed up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't feel any type of way about it. I feel like it's all over the place. Like, they got guys, like I seen like some of the ones like in the 50s and 60s and that aren't even for our team. And I was like, why isn't that guy higher? So I don't know if I buy into the list as much as I used to. I think Burrow last year was like number 6 or something, right?
Yeah, Burrow was up there. He was definitely in the top 10 for sure.
I guess they're saying like as long as you play, but I just don't know. The part that's messing me up is from an NFL player standpoint, I just don't believe that they subscribe to just because a guy got hurt that we're going to drop him all the way down to like somebody like Burrow to 39. I just don't see it. A lot of the Ravens fans was talking about Lamar Jackson being at the number that he was at, but I feel like he was at the number that he was at on the strength of he had just came off of back-to-back season-ending injuries. But even still, him at 72 was like kind of crazy. So
Lamar was at 72?
Not this year. I'm talking about when he came off of the back-to-back seasons where he was going into 22 or 23. Because he got hurt in 21 and 22.
Yeah. So
it had to be 20. Yeah, going into 23. Yeah. He was stupid low. Then he comes back and wins the MVP. So maybe they'll have him at number 2 now that he's won the MVP. It'll probably be Patrick.
The interesting thing is, and I know like these are our ops, but does Patrick Mahomes still go over him, being that he's coming off the MVP year? Because I think he probably still edges him out just because of the Super Bowl and all that. I don't know when these picks are submitted by players,
right?
But what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, they're the ops, but if you had the pick,
let's be clear on this whole thing.
You picking Joe Burrow.
You know the Jamar Chase joint. People in the comments I was reading, they were like, "Yeah, I love it when he does." The number one thing that you could do to build up Chiefs' ego, and I'm sorry if y'all been following me, I do not tweet about them. The number one thing that you could do is make them feel like they're important. I don't like. I'm like him on the strength of I don't even say their name. Because I feel like every time you do that, they're just gonna pop up in your comment section to be like, "Ooh, what do we have here?" So, you know what I mean? So whenever I see anything red and yellow orient, I let them have it because they want you to talk about them because it gives them energy for whatever reason they need it after they won 2 Super Bowls like back to back like that. Right. Like they're looking for something to say like this is what makes us whatever. And I don't know. I don't look at them like a op. I just say, hey, Pat Mahomes, you're well accomplished. You're the number 1 quarterback. We're not even going to have that conversation. And then we just move on from there. I don't know. Now, Lamar, that's a different story. You're in my division. I don't like you. Sorry.
Yeah, I might hate both of them. I like you said, you got to tip your hat to that guy with the Kermit the Frog sounding voice. You got to tip your hat to him. Because he's been able to accomplish what he's done in this league. And you could say the same about Lamar, but at the end of the day, we hate them, man, because they're in the way. At the end of the day, they're in the way. For sure.
Do you feel like that before we make our big announcement coming up right now? Let me ask you like this. Do you feel like the conversation of Joe Burrow and Pat Mahomes is like a real conversation anymore?
I think it still is. I think after you saw it last year, you saw nobody else could beat him. Like you saw that Lamar couldn't beat him. You saw at points that Josh Allen couldn't beat him. I think a lot of the conversation after the fact was people saying like nobody has a chance to really beat him other than Burrow. So I think it's still a conversation. Obviously it's tipped to him just because Burrow's coming off the injury. But I think this season Joe has a chance to rewrite that coming up. So with that being said, we are now going to go into our special guest. Our surprise guest is Corey Dillon. So we're going to bring him in now.
Corey Dillon just busts open this defense. This is like men against boys, the way he's ripping this Bronco defense open. Unbelievable.
Clock killing Corey Dillon.
What's going on, fellas?
We good, man. How you doing?
Man, I can't complain. It wouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's where that's like your go-to right there. And like you're 100% right. But I tell you what, all is well. I'm so happy for you to join us. We are launching our season 3 Wincinnati Pod 1. I know I reached out to you on a short notice. I appreciate you coming on, OG. CD, what is life like now that you are officially in the Bengals Ring of Honor?
Man, things just taste a little bit better, man. You know what I mean? So I mean, life is good right now, man. So, hey, man, it's been a long journey. We done came back full circle, man. So I'm happy that, you know, we can put our differences aside and move forward and don't got to worry about that past stuff and just look forward for the future, my man.
Talking about that, you said that you got a call from Mike Brown. You said that it was a good conversation. What was the conversation like when you found out from Mike Brown that you were entering the Ring of Honor?
Oh, man, it was pretty cool, man. I was over here getting my golf stuff together, man. To be honest with you, I was heading to the range, man. And I usually just turn my phone off, man, because I don't want no distractions. So I was just about to turn my phone off, and something just told me just look at it, man, and make sure, you know, your kids could be calling you. It could be an emergency. So I'm just like, I'm checking my phone, and then I seen a 513 number I didn't recognize, and it had a voicemail to it. I was like, man, let me take this before I get up there and shut things down. And it was Mike. It was Mike Brown, and I was like, oh man, oh shit. Let me call him back ASAP. So I called him back, man, and we just had a great conversation, man. It was just like, man, all the tension and everything just kind of left in that one phone call. You know what I mean? So all the anxiety and all that stuff, and man, we just had a great conversation, and he was just like, man, you know what? I got some good news for you. And I was like, go ahead, let me know. And he said, man, you're going in this year, man, and you deserve to be there. And that's all I needed to hear, man. So yeah, it was I was teary-eyed too, man. Don't tell nobody that, man, but
it's a lot of people on here.
yeah. Oh, damn. No, but I got a little emotional over that phone call, man, and it was a great, beautiful phone conversation.
In that conversation, when you were talking to, at any point did he reference anything that he just didn't like? Like, at any point does he reference, or does anybody ever reference like the shoulder pads into the stands or anything like that?
Zero. He said nothing. He said, hey, man, it was almost a conversation like it didn't even happen, man. I'm serious. Right. So that's where we was, man. I and just what I take from that conversation, man, I think everybody done moved on. You know what I mean? So everybody's in a good place, man, and I'm back, and dude, I could just enjoy watching football in Cincinnati and being me without have to answer 20 million questions about shoulder pads and burger flipping and all this other stuff.
I feel like time heals all wounds, so you know,
right?
You got a lot of that going on, and life is short, and Mike Brown ain't getting no younger either, so we ain't getting no younger. So I'm pretty sure you probably put that into perspective.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, I'm pushing 50 in 2 months, man. So yeah, man, that young Dillon is something else. I'm totally different. You know what I mean? I'm totally different from young Dillon. So yeah, man, I'm just happy we at this juncture, you know what I mean, in life, and I'm a lot more mature, and I'm glad they can overlook some of that stuff, man, and we can move forward.
CD, I've said on Twitter, I feel a lot of people feel like this. I think you're a top 5 Bengal. Explain to the naysayers out there why you should be considered a top 5 Bengal.
Oh man, there's been a lot of debate, man. Somebody just did their poll and talked about I was 14, man. I'm like, dude, you're nuts. Something's wrong with you, man. Something is wrong. I would ask people to do this, man. From a talent perspective and career perspective. That's how we should be ranked. What is done on that field? Hey, man, I know there's a lot of great personalities, you know, out there. But, man, I don't win football games, man. You know what I mean? So if you go rank us based on talent and longevity and overall career.
And I think for me, man, like I think you got to look at the situation too. Like you didn't play with a quarterback,
Right.
You know, you didn't have all of this
Right.
talent around you, and you were still able to rush for 278 yards. Like people don't think about how many passing yards the quarterback had in that game. Like people don't realize that you didn't have a great defense back then. So like to be able to accomplish what you did, given that circumstance, to me makes you one of the greatest players. And then you saw what happened when you went to a good organization at the time with a lot of talent with the Patriots. Once you got on a good team, you know, you had one of the best seasons you ever had. So to me, you got to also account your surroundings and you know, the lack of what you had there, like not having a quarterback and some of those other items there from that perspective. And I feel like you put the team on your back for real during that time. So yeah, that's why I feel like you're a top 5 Bengal to me, bro, because I mean, to do what you did despite the circumstances, you still came out on top.
Man, and I appreciate that greatly, man. Them are nice, kind words, man. And yeah, that should what you just said should make my case even better, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something you definitely gotta factor in because overall, man, I don't think there's a lot of running backs that could have did what I did in my situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully, man, we got a lot of great players that play for Cincinnati, as you know.
Yeah.
And we get a bad rap. We get a bad rap because that spell, them 7 years, that spell, we wasn't winning as much. Man, but that don't take away from who we are. You know what I mean? Like our talent and stuff like that. So
right.
Eventually, man, we could get the right people in these voting processes and they can start doing the right thing. And start doing right by Cincinnati, to be honest with you.
Right. I feel like part of what you're saying is one of the battles that I fight every day, like on the internet, is like I feel like there's like a lot of empathy for like some teams that haven't done well.
Right.
Well, they'll talk about some of those players. I don't want to say no names in particular,
right.
But there'll be some teams that didn't win either. And it's almost like a foregone conclusion, like, oh, that guy's a Hall of Famer. But for whatever reason, I know the Bengals probably aren't. I'm pretty sure a Minnesota Viking fan will probably tell me the same thing, or like someone that hasn't won like, you know, championships or something.
Right.
They'll probably tell me the same thing. But for whatever reason, there's like this tendency to not give Bengals players credit, like when they're actually playing for the Bengals. And had you not gone to the Patriots and won the championship, whatever, I don't know if they would talk about you honestly like that. But I think what it did, it's almost like a good social experiment too, because once you were taken and put on a team that had a chance to win a championship, you know what I mean? Like, here we go. Like, you know, here we go. And it goes to show you like how good I think you were. And I make that argument for a lot of our players right now. I think AJ Green could have been recognized as one of the greatest wide receivers of all time had he been in like even gone to like a Super Bowl or something like that. I think the conversation around him might even be different. And I say all that to say, what do you think it's going to take for you to get recognized, and what could we do, you think, to get you pushed into the Hall of Fame?
Well, step number one is the Ring of Honor, man. That's a bonus on a good resume, man. I really needed that, to be honest with you. Conversation went like this with one of my homeboys. It was like, man, how you gonna get into the Hall of Fame if your own team don't even honor you? You feel what I'm saying? So, and that's real talk, man. That's real. So that was like a year ago, man. And I thought about that, man. I was like, dude, man, you absolutely right. So at that time, I was like, damn, man, I got an uphill battle. You know what I mean? I gotta start trending upwards. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a process, man. And one jacket down, I got another one to go, man. And I'm not taking this lightly, man. This is a great accomplishment for me personally. This is what I've been seeking for a long time, man. And actually going in this year kind of put a lot of stuff to bed with me. and that's a good thing, man. So hopefully this can propel me in some conversations in the Hall of Fame, man, which I hope it does. But if not, man, that ain't it, man. I'm gonna enjoy this moment because it's special, and it's something I've been wanting for a couple years now, actually beyond a couple years. But and I'm just gonna soak it up, man, and live in this moment, man. And we'll get to that other jacket later, man. But this one, I need to get this one first.
Right on line with this. Hold on, real quick. I just thought about it as you saying this. You know what you got to do right now. On the night of the Ring of Honor, you know you got to come with it. Like the fit, the suit.
Oh, man. Hey, man.
Hey, look, this is a big deal. Like,
hey, man. Everybody told me to go get my mink and all kind of stuff, and I'm like, dude.
It's kind of early in the year, though. Hold on, what month is that? When
It's
September. I don't even know what the weather's gonna be like. It might be a little warm for that, man. So, nah, man. You know what? I'm gonna keep it casual, man. I'm gonna be suited and booted, man. I'm gonna be all right, man. But they said, man, go find that mink in that top hat, man, and stroll up in there. And I'm like, I don't know if they'll give me a jacket if I came in there like that, man.
They're gonna be like, see, there goes CD doing it. There you go again. Like, nah.
And I'm like, man, that's young Dillon, man. I'm too casual now. I don't think I'll be able to pull that one off. But I'll be all right. I'll be fly, man. Trust me.
Yeah, man. I feel like you and Freddie T, man, they got to let in the hall. But you kind of talked about the Ring of Honor. Do you have any like former teammates or just people in general that you plan on having them join you for that momentous event?
Well, man, you know what? Hey, Icky's gonna roll with me, man, on that day, man. So that's my guy, bro. Oh, man. We got to know each other pretty well, man. Real solid dude, man. That's like big bro. So we always, every time we in the same area, man, we have a good time and a lot of laughs, man. And he's definitely rolling with me that whole day, man.
Is there did you have any thoughts too? We didn't talk about Krumrie.
Wow.
Do you have any recollection of like maybe the first time you met with him, or like what do you have anything that maybe for like a younger Bengal fan like myself, whatever, like as far as the memories or anything that you could share with the people to tell them what you remember about him and him being into the Ring of Honor with you?
Well, man, dude, it's like I said, it's a double honor, man. That's one of my favorite coaches, man. So my 7 years there, man. Me and Krumrie were pretty damn cool, man, and a lot of respect. And just due to the fact that off bat, you can tell who's the alphas around there. You know what I mean? Instantly, he was one of them. So, and there's a difference. There's a little difference, like when you're coach or you being coached by somebody who was in them trenches, and that's a dog. You know what I mean? It carries a different weight. So Tim Krumrie is beloved by everybody down there. That he's one solid person, one hell of a football player, well respected. And the thing I loved about me and him, our conversation, we really didn't talk too much football, man. We talked life, like life in general, man. And he shared some of his experiences, man. And I kind of soaked that up, man. That's what the OG's supposed to do, you know. Teach you something that'll keep you out of a trap. So we talked about everything but football, and I respect them for that, man. Even when things wasn't going right, he will always say something encouraging. You know what I mean? So one hell of a player, man. It's a real honor going in with that dude. I don't know if the front office said, man, let's take 2 of the toughest people we know and put them in, but I'm glad they did, man. I'm glad they did. So, yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to celebrate along with Tim.
How you gonna feel when they put that 28 up on there on Monday Night Football, bro?
Oh, dude, I don't even know yet, man. Listen, from a little crazy kid running around Seattle, you know what I mean, into everything, to actually have his name in a stadium. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. And it dawned on me like a couple weeks ago, like it's gonna be forever there. Like when I'm not here, you know what I mean? Somebody could walk in that stadium and be like, "Who's Corey Dillon?" Maybe look me up and be like, "Oh wow, man, this dude was real." So it's gonna be special, man. It's gonna be special. I'm gonna try to fight back the tears. You know what I mean?
I was just about to ask you, what's the over or under on you crying right there on national TV right there?
Oh man, shit, I don't know. I don't know. Hey man, the OG in me right now be like, nah, bro, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
Sometimes you just gotta let it out.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing, man. My mom passed away on that same day, so I don't know where I'm gonna be, you know, emotionally, because you know, part of me wants her to be there, and she ain't gonna be there to see it. I know she's gonna be there in spirit, so I'm just gonna try to hold it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry to hear that.
It's all right, brother. I'm in a good space, man.
I was going to ask you, you know, speaking of spaces, have you had a chance to go to the Bengals, any of the practices, any of the camp stuff?
No, man, no. But you know what? It tripped me out, man. I was out golfing, like I think it was 2 days ago, man. And they unveiled that new locker room, man. And I'm like, bro, what?
You know, Willie got the credentials. You need to hit him up, and you need to go check it out.
I mean, hey, Will got all the all the credential, gate codes and everything. I got to hit him up.
You in the Ring of Honor now,
man. That was like, I'm looking, and you know, the first thing that came to my mind, like, damn, why y'all couldn't do this like 20-some years ago, bro? That would have been dope. But I tell you this, man, and that shows you where the organization came from to now, man. It's that organization's in a good place, and it's trending upwards, which we all should appreciate and love, because we all remember the other days. So, and then to your point of when we were speaking earlier about, I think some of the problem is the narrative and perception, the public perception about the Bengals, and the only thing I think about is, only way to change that is to win a Super Bowl, bro. And we got the team to do it. We got the team to do it, man. And that team is gonna go as far as Joe is gonna take him, man. And I'm saying, if he's healthy, if he stay healthy throughout this year, man, everybody better watch out, man. Honestly, I heard you guys talking about Mahomes and man, dude. Hey, we will drag the Chiefs. Trust me.
See, I've been trying to be politically correct these days because they get on me. I went a little hard on the Chiefs when we beat them a couple different times. So I got a bad rap on the internet, but I've been trying to be a little bit more polished these days. But in my heart of hearts, like I'm with you. I just feel like the Bengals on all cylinders is a scary concept. I know there's some other teams that have, you know, stepped up. You talked about the number 28, you know, mixing now with the Texans.
Right.
Part of the reason I was going to ask you, had you been to camp, I wanted to get your viewpoint or your vantage point on the running back situation with the Bengals currently right now.
Oh man, Zach Moss, man. I mean, and Brown, man. We ain't gonna really know until it's game time. You know what I mean? So we can kind of get a sense in these preseasons on what we got. Mm-hmm. We already know Brown is the truth. So. He's gonna be in that mix. We ain't seen too much of Moss yet, but yeah, I mean, obvious their talent levels is there. I have no problem with either or. However they split carries, I think whoever's in there is going to be productive and more explosive in that aspect. It should be fun, man. It should be fun. I think they went more with speed, you know, which is could be a great move, man. Could be all the offense need. I don't know. I mean, I love Joe, man. I miss my guy, man. He was cool. He did his thing, man. He was a workhorse. So it's gonna be interesting. Definitely.
No, for sure, for sure. Who do you think should be inducted in the next year's Ring of Honor?
Oh boy. Hey man, I took some heat this year, bro. I'm gonna tell you what. Hey man, and when I came out a year ago, my whole thing was like time. Like time, man. And you know what? Even though I'm going in this year, I mean I have sympathy for like Trumpy, man. I'm like, dude, he's up there. He's up there in age, man, and I want him to see that day and feel what I'm feeling, right?
Right.
So Lamar Parrish, another guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, even though it's a good day for me, man, I'm still wishing my brothers could be in there as well. So hopefully next year, maybe Trumpy, maybe Lamar, and then you know what? We got Jim Breach. We got the Laphams of the world. I mean, Max Montoya. The list goes on, bro. It's like maybe just for 1 year expand it to 4, man, and get all them soldiers in there. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we will see. We will see, man. We definitely will see.
Well,
I'm pulling for all them guys, man. I'm definitely.
I appreciate you coming on, man. You know, I know it was like short notice. This is Wincinnati. This is our 3rd season. Me and Ace been going together on this show live, and we do these interviews. And I feel like our last one, we talked about your car choices and different things like that. Before you head on out of here, I want to know, last time it was the Ferrari. What are we eyeing out? What does it take to get to CD clock killing level whips these days? What are we driving?
Oh man, I'm dipping Maseratis, man, and I gotta,
yeah,
you know what I mean. And I got a clean ZL1 Camaro, man, that I keep it pushing, brother. And then I got about 4 old schools, man, that keep me dipping, sliding through traffic a little bit. So I'm all right. I'm all right.
Doing all right. I appreciate you coming on, man. Yeah, we gotta get our money up to hang out with you a little bit, and then we can ride out. We can hit the highway together and do something. But I appreciate you very much. Congratulations to you. Looking forward to that, and we'll see you next time, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brothers. Thanks for having me on. Anytime too. Let me know.
We coming. Hey, look, week 1, we're doing something over at Midwest Best. You more than welcome. Come on over.
Oh man, there you go, man. Hey, y'all better order some of them Dillinator wings too. Man.
I had some.
They on point or what? What's the deal?
I love them. I'm an honest person. They're in my top 3 over there.
There you go.
But the Grippos is hard for me to like. It's
tough to let them go, huh? Hey, brother, I ain't mad at you. You keep it in a buck.
Hey, look, I gotta keep it a buck. But the Dillinators, oh my god, they got that sweet tanginess with the spice a little bit to it too. If y'all haven't had a chance, y'all need to definitely make sure y'all go check that out. One of our partners, our sponsors, shout out to Tim and Nicole at Midwest Best.
Yes, indeed.
But they love you to death. So, like I said, week 1, we're doing something there. So I would love for you to come on, slide by, and we could go and have a wing off. We could do Dillinator versus. By that time, we're gonna have our own wing. So we're gonna head up and see what we got.
All right, bet that, man. We got to set something up, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you again, Corey.
All right, brothers. Have a good one, man, and thanks.
Yes, sir. You too.
Appreciate you. Congrats.
Yes, sir. The legend Corey Dillon just joined the Wincinnati podcast. I got to get some of them Dillinator wings. Y'all got me jealous right now because I haven't had a chance to taste them yet. But speaking of Midwest Best Barbecues, I mean, you done made me a little hungry, man. Let's toss it to Midwest Best Barbecue.
Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. Midwest Best is the place to be for queuing wings. The AC to the Zim. M into the B's. Uno wings, Jeep on wings, and them CTVs. Midwest Best is the place to be for Q and wings. Midwest Best is the place to be for Q and wings. Say what up to Jordan Battle. We be going to battle. Intercepting balls like CTV did on Seattle. Putting 6 up on AZ. Juice gang amazing. Make sure you come get these wings. The Cincy stay blazing. And T game be smooth as ice. Jamal making DBs fold. TV got big levels. And now you already know. It's so pretty for Uno wings. Cam got the new wings. We call them CTBs. Only at MBs. Nation to the Zim. M into the B's.
Shout out to Midwest Best Barbecue, 669 Justice Court in Loveland, Ohio. They got the Dillinator wings. You guys go there. Tweet me on Twitter at New Stripe City. Let me know how you guys feel, or tweet Zim on X. I guess it's called X now, at Zim Hude. Let us know what you think about them Dillinator wings. Send us
you saw the girl that be like this in the joint? She be like breaking it down. She be like, oh, I be like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, hey, it was getting right. It was getting right for sure.
Bro, I spent like 100 something in there last time. My wife was like, man, you got to bring me back something. And I was on a short trip there. So I was like, all right, cool. It won't be all stale or whatever. But the day before, bro, can I say that we do not talk about the ribs. I don't know. A lot of people I know aren't big pork eaters and stuff. For real, you know, I used to be like that for a couple years, but I'm back on. I would say that the ribs gotta be the most slept on thing over there at Midwest Best Barbecue. If you think I'm playing, just go get like 1 or 2 bones or something and just see what I'm talking about. Like, it's not all that gamey fat and all that stuff like that. That's the part that I don't like about pork. Good lean meat right on the on the bone of the ribs or whatever, and it's really good. I just think that there's a lot of barbecue places I go to around my house that are nowhere near as good as their ribs, but people talk about them like they're real good and they're like slimy and wet. These are like real, like on point ribs, bro. Like I'm getting hungry thinking about it. Those are like some of my favorite ribs, and nobody talks about it. Everybody just talk about the wings, but cool.
Nah, for sure. Once again, shout out to Midwest Best Barbecue. Shout out to BETUS again for sponsoring the show. Let's get into our third sponsor as well for the show. We're going to talk to our guys from not Midwest, but Fans of Cincy. Let's go ahead and get them up on here. Fansofcincy.com today. If you guys are looking to book your next trip for all of the Bengals road games, check out fansofcincy.com. You'll be able to get everything from tickets to being able to attend the tailgate. You'll get airfare, everything that you can think of. Unforgettable trips to Nashville, Kansas City, Charlotte, LA, Dallas, all inclusive. So you're going to be able to get all of that. So you can check it out at fansofcincy.com. That's once again, fansofcincy.com. As you can see, bus transportation as well, fan connections, all kind of stuff that you can do. All it takes is for you to reserve that with a priority deposit. So you can do that for as low as $200. You can book it for your family, friends, all of that. If you even want to just hit up the tailgate by yourself, you could do that as well for $95. Me and Zim went to New Orleans a few years ago. It was amazing. They have events planned. The other thing is when you get to the tailgate, you're going to get food, drinks, all of that. So you can get turned up before you go into the game. And the dope thing about it is the food is always going to be based on the area that you guys are at. So it's going to be a pretty dope time. Definitely make sure you guys book with them today at fansofcincy.com. Let Dusko know that Ace and Zim sent you. And they also will answer any questions that you have. So anything that you're wondering about the trip, how the logistics are set up, you can reach out to them, send them a message, whether that's on Twitter at Fans of Cincy, or you can go to their website and they'll get you right as well. As you can see, there's the contact us up there in the right-hand corner. So definitely take advantage of this. We strongly recommend it. We don't mess with any sponsors that we don't stand by. So definitely be sure to check out Fans of Cincy and get your trip today.
Yes, sir. Can I say one thing also to fans of Cincy? Say that you're a Bengals fan and you don't really know that many other Bengals fans. And I know a lot of people like book their own trip. Like for me, my wife usually does all that stuff for me because I've been moving a lot and I don't know, I'm just weird like that. So they handle all that stuff for you. But the other thing that I think people don't talk about is you're going to be in a hotel with nothing but Bengals fans on the road. So that they're blocking out several floors in a hotel. So you'll have a chance like breakfast time. I noticed like when I would go on one of the trips, like I was all with like-minded people and I met a bunch of Bengals fans that I didn't even know. They don't even know who I was, but we just ended up talking Bengals. Then when you go to the game itself, the seats and everything, you're around a bunch of Bengals as well too. So it's a good net, not even – it's kind of like a fellowship type of thing or whatever. I know a lot of people are like me. I'm not. I know I'm pretty. I'm an extrovert and I don't have a problem meeting people. But I don't just go out of my way to just say, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing?" But if I see somebody with Bengals gear on and stuff like that, I'm like, "Who that? Who that?" You know what I mean? So I think it's really dope. And people don't talk about that aspect of it. Is like you could go book on your own, but you're probably just kind of doing it on your own and everything like that. You're going to a tailgate with hundreds of Bengals fans, all you could drink. You're going around, and when you go to the actual game and the ticket in itself and everything, you're sitting with a bunch of Bengals fans. So it kind of gives you like that home-like atmosphere, and you get a chance to just meet like some people that you just didn't even know. And as Bengals fans, you know how it is. We just stick together, like no matter where we go. So I just think that people don't talk about that part enough too. When you're booking your travel and stuff. But fans of Cincy is my go-to. I've already got my Dallas trip with them already set up and ready to go. So I'm really excited about that. A couple of other games too that we're working on. So I'm really, really excited.
Speaking of being excited, talk to the people about the new merch that you got that just dropped, man. The Slim Shiesty is going crazy right now. Some people have been able to grab that. Where else do you feel like they can grab that information at?
Yeah, grab that merch. I appreciate you shouting that out. But I worked really hard on this one. This one is a different design because it's a little bit more fashion forward, I think, because the actual shirt itself is like an oversized fit, more vintage style, and more like the fit that I kind of wear, just oversized style, whatever. But Burrow, the Slim Shiesty one, I feel like, shout out to my boy Game On. He was like the first one I heard say it like in a space, I believe. And then I just saw it just kind of blow up. I knew I kind of hinted at people that he would change his hair to that before it even happened. And Slim Shiesty, I just think is a real good, nickname. And, Burrow, like a month from now, he might change his hair. So this limited run, I'm only doing a little bit of them. I was overwhelmed. I got so many orders on these right away. I originally said 50, but I sold the 50 like immediately. So I talked to my designer and we were like, let's just open it up, and we're doing a couple more and we're going to knock those out. But it's going to be a special one that we're just dropping for a limited time at zimhude.com. But on the back, it's got a really cool design that says, "Hi, I'm Slim Shiesty." It's really original. You're not going to find any designs like me or Aces anywhere in no Dick's Sporting Goods. No, we're not Bengals approved, I guess, so to speak, or NFL approved, but it gives us the leeway to be super creative and create some really dope designs. So I wear my Bengals stuff and my jersey's proud, but I like to also wear like some dope stuff that I could wear outside of just Bengals gear. And I think that's what Ace kind of does too, with his shirt that he's got on right now, newstrikecity.com. But we make clothes that just because you're a Bengals fan doesn't mean that you're just going to wear it just at Bengals game. Like, you could wear the Slim Shiesty joint to the club, the mall, the movies. It doesn't matter, or a game. So that's how I really kind of make my stuff, so that I'm making sure that we're all connected. Because, somebody in Wyoming don't know who Slim Shiesty is. So you got to put them on game. Same thing in Cali right now. They don't know who Slim Shiesty is. So that's how I look at it. Like, you got to put them on to the drip. And we're going to keep y'all fresh every step of the way.
For sure. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Over 800 and almost 900 people are tuning in, so we appreciate that. Don't forget to like this video, comment as well, and also make sure that you partner up with BETUS. You know, they're helping us out, support us. We've got our own link in the description, so we appreciate you guys doing that. But the new schedule going forward is going to be Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we appreciate you guys tapping in with us on the Thursday. But going forward, set those notifications for 8 p.m. Monday and Wednesday. Season 3 of the Wincinnati podcast is here. We appreciate all the support. And Zim, before we get out of here, what did you want to say?
I just want to say thanks again to Corey Dillon coming to our opening season 3 Wincinnati pod. Shout out to my boy Astronauty. We collabed and we did some stuff, and we got this brand new intro that I really love this intro. So shout out to my dog. He always comes through. Yes, we partner up with BETUS. I just want to put people in the game moving forward. We're not changing up anything that we do. They liked our show. They like what we're doing, and they believe in the Bengals fans. So I want everyone to make sure that y'all pay attention to what we're about to be doing. We're going to give people opportunities to get free bets moving forward. Just a reminder, they get the fastest payouts in the industry, 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 crypto deposit bonuses, get 10% back on net losses twice a year. Did you know that they can also give you your own personal account manager? There's so many different details and so many reasons why we partnered up with BETUS. We hope that you all go and check them out too, because we're going to be moving forward with them, and we're going to give you so many opportunities to play some bets and get some free money with them.
Yes, sirski.
It's an exciting time to be a Bengals